Brandon, hey, hey, let's go Brandon, hey, hey, let's go Brandon. I keep it drawn like I'm the cannon, hey, hey, let's go Brandon. Can't even think real, they just planned it, hey, hey, let's go Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning, hey, hey, let's go Brandon, hey, let's go Brandon, hey, hey. Biden said the just not the spread, it was lies. How you roll, but you haven't opened your eyes. These politicians are demons just in disguise. Look at Kyrie Irving and Nicki Minaj. Look at Australia, that's what's coming next. We don't stand up. Stop complying with them, taking our rights. It's time to man up. Somebody gotta do it. Hey, let's go Brandon. I keep it down like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon.
There we go.
Hey, let's go Brandon. I keep it down like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning. Hey, hey, let's go Brandon. Hey, let's go Brandon. Hey,
huge. A massive story. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive story. All right. The Biden connection. The Biden connection. This is the front page of Fox News right now. Front page of Fox News. How the president's inner circle is linked to the Clintons' campaign's dirty tricks against Trump. Sources tell Fox News. All right, let's get going. I want to do a Let's Go Brandon dance party. But I think we should dance. I think we should do the official Let's Go Brandon dance party when every single one of the conspirators who conspired in order to steal your voice, your rights, your vote from you gets put in prison, gets locked behind bars. It's where these people belong. They are the ones who acted illegally, colluded with a foreign power in order to usurp the will and indeed malign, destroy, and kneecap an American president, duly elected, rightfully elected. Boy, oh boy, this is warfare, ladies and gentlemen. Warfare. And now we have found out that a key official inside of the Biden administration currently serving. You know who this person is. You've seen him on your television. A key official inside the Biden administration is indeed directly connected through John Durham's indictments to the Trump collusion Russia hoax that Hillary Clinton bought and paid for. We're going to get into all of the details, but first, please sign up for my email list. Please go to the description in the links on my social pages. Sign up so that I can communicate with you directly. This is an email that I write. This is an email that we put together, that we are able to tell you the facts like this that the corporate media do not want you to know about. We give you also some of the funniest memes, some of the most important viral moments from the week, and we summarize essentially what we learned this week. Please sign up for the Benny email. We have gotten tens of thousands of people signed up already. We have had two very, let's just call it successful sends. The open rate on this thing is insane. You don't want to miss out. You want to be in on the ground level here. Sign up for the Benny newsletter. Okay, jumping in. This is something that you would find in the Benny newsletter. You won't find it in your corporate press. You won't find it inside of the corporate media. They're not even covering this. They don't want to cover this because it implicates them and it implicates their queen, Hillary Clinton, and their beleaguered, syphilitic old king, Joe Biden. I don't know. What are you going to say? What are you going to say, man? What are you going to say? Is Joe Biden anyone's king? Joe Biden isn't even the king. Joe Biden's only king inside of the throne room of his own mind. Joe Biden's king of no one, even though he acts like it, and here's how. Joe Biden officials helped the Hillary Clinton campaign collude with Russia in order to blackmail, sabotage, destroy, slander, lie to the FBI about Donald Trump. The end. We know it now. Confirmed. Jake Sullivan, Joe Biden's national security advisor. You may remember who Jake Sullivan is. Jake Sullivan is the guy, the very translucent skinned, thin, looks like a wet toothpick, a feeble, limp-wristed, linguini-spined man who stood up there during the Afghanistan collapse debacle withdrawal suicide that got 13 Americans killed. Jake Sullivan's the man standing up before the country talking about how great it was and how they were gonna, they're gonna do a hot wash and figure out what went wrong. Well, what went wrong is that Jake Sullivan is a corrupt scumbag who now we know through John Durham's most recent indictment. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, people are finally getting arrested and going to jail for colluding to lie to the FBI, create a phony dossier, and to destroy this man right there. They wanted to destroy him, and now they're being found out. John Durham is pulling the rats out of the rat's nest. Here's what we know. Jake Sullivan has now been confirmed inside of a John Durham charging document as openly coordinating and emailing with the guy. His name's Charles Dolan. He's Hillary Clinton's lawyer. He has deep connections to the Clintons. This Charles Dolan guy is the guy who has admitted to the FBI that he made up the dossier. He admitted to the FBI that he lied, that he straight up lied, that he has nothing, and that all of it, from stem to stern, was a lie in order to slander, kneecap, and destroy Donald Trump. Most importantly, and I must state this because it's lost in the noise, even the smartest people do not dig down into this important fact. It is the most crucial fact in this entire story. You watching. Perhaps you voted for Donald Trump. I voted for Donald Trump. Maybe you are one of the, at this point, after 2 elections, 100+ million people who voted for Donald Trump. Some 130 million Americans got together and voted for Donald Trump. 140 million Americans voted for Donald Trump 2016, 2020 combined. 140 million American votes for this man. This woman, the queen of warmongers, the dark Black Sabbath woman of the elite establishment, globalists, the most corrupt and wicked person, I would argue, living in America today, paid in order to make sure that the person we elected, Donald J. Trump, the person that we elected, had their election questioned, had 3 years of investigations and special counsels, had the FBI and DOJ actively looking into and sabotaging his presidency, had the question of illegitimacy cast over him. This woman, in help with this man and his current staff at the White House, acted to usurp the will of the American people. You and me. If you are a Trump voter, or if you're just a free American who loves this place as much as I do, you should be enraged. That's what the dossier was. The dossier was a filthy scumbag trick in order to try and steal from us that which we wanted. These bastards talk a lot about threats to democracy. There is no greater threat to democracy than that, than the robbing of you and me and our vote, our lives. We cast aside everything and said, no, we want an America that is free. We want an America that is first. We will vote for this man. We took a gamble and we did it. And we created a movement out of nothing. The establishment was against us in the Republican Party. The establishment was vicious to us in the Democratic Party. The corporate media slandered you, maligned you, went after your families if you shared certain memes. They've all tried to destroy our lives, and we said, you know what, damn it, we're still gonna vote for this guy. And we did, and we elected him president. Lawfully, rightfully, truthfully elected Donald Trump president. Americans got together and said, nope, this man, not her, him. This is the front page of Fox News right now. And what did she do about it? She cast a wicked witch spell on all of us. She cast over all of our votes and all of our will, the will of the American people, the democracy that they so claim to protect, was utterly sabotaged by this vicious woman and her sickening, corrupt, gremlin-like sycophants who behaved like rats, gnawing and teething at the inside of our democracy by selling lies, creating false dossiers about this man that we elected, and then spreading that throughout the corporate media. Spreading it. Boy, do I have a show for you guys today. I am upset. I am incensed. I am very angry. Because now we find out that one of the key people in charge of spread, one of the key people involved in making sure that this happened, that your vote got destroyed, that your will of you, the American people, honest, good-hearted, hardworking, red-blooded Americans, one of the key figures involved in making sure that your will was not heard, that your vote got robbed, that your president got kneecapped and maligned and dragged for 3 solid years for a lie, a hoax propagated by her. One of the key administration officials for Joe Biden has now been named officially as one of the colluders. That's right. An actual Russia colluder. An actual man who colluded with Russia. Jake Sullivan, National Security Advisor to Joe Biden. Take it away.
Attorney charged with lying to the FBI about alleged connections between Donald Trump and the Kremlin. Sussman's information did not pan out. We also have this confirmed, Sandra, today. The indictment alleges that Sussman communicated information with a Clinton foreign policy advisor. We can confirm that foreign policy advisor was Jake Sullivan, President Biden's current national security advisor. That correspondence happened in September 2016.
Currently serving.
Jake Sullivan's office today for comment. Basically, the indictment saying that Sussman gave some of the information to Sullivan. At this point, doesn't say anything else about Sullivan's alleged involvement. Sandra.
Jake Sullivan, your current national security advisor, not just getting young American men and women slaughtered in Afghanistan, which is what he's most famous for, up to now in the Biden administration. He is the guy, you remember him, even if you're not paying super close attention, you remember this guy, this rat, this man, grotesque, this translucent skinned hack. Look at this guy, a wet toothpick, a disgusting, grotesque individual. He is now named. The John Durham indictment has named him. Didn't name him directly because they're still working on it. What does that mean? Will John Durham pull up a bunch of federal vehicles outside of the White House and drag this man into custody? We'll see. We'll see. They've been doing it across town. It would be not outside of the realm of possibility. The boiling water is heating up. The White House asked about one of their own colluding with Hillary Clinton in order to lie, slander, and create a false, fake document in order to slander her own political opponent, rigging an American election, corrupting the will of the people. The White House asked about it. How do you work next to a guy who actively did that to the American people? Listen.
It's just breaking from our Justice Department reporter. Two sources are telling Fox that National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is the foreign policy advisor mentioned in the former Clinton lawyer Michael Sussman's indictment. I understand this just came across while you're at the podium, so you haven't probably had a chance to read into that, but what is the White House comment on that, and is there any conflict here, given that there has been news around the indictment? Is there any conflict here that would preclude Sullivan from being able to carry out his duties?
As you just said, Jackie, I'm just now hearing this, so I don't have a comment for you at this moment. I don't know anything about what you're just mentioning, so I have to talk to our team.
And there has been news around the dossier though over the last couple of weeks, and sort of this feeling that it's falling apart after the revelations of the Clinton tied lawyer had lied to the FBI. Now knowing what we know about the dossier, is there any concern that there was a lot of focus or too much focus on that during the president's campaign?
So Jackie, I refer you to the Department of Justice. I'm not going to comment on that from here, from the podium.
Oh, wow. Very convenient, very convenient. Just gonna have to refer you inside of a eternal loop in Washington, D.C., the Department of Justice, who won't say anything. The White House, who won't say anything. Here is the bombshell. Ladies and gentlemen, the thing that they accuse you of doing, they are themselves doing. If they said that you are colluding with Russia, if they said that you are the one who are, oh man, have I got something to show you?
You demonize.
Have I got something to show you guys?
So I have to ask, what is the reaction?
I can rip the whole world apart. I can rip the whole world apart right now. I can show you exactly how they do it. Man, oh man. I can show you exactly how you do it. Get ready. You're about to have your mind blown. The wrap-up smear. This is how they do it. Ladies and gentlemen, the wrap-up smear. I told you, the only reason to really tune in and listen to me, I'm just a dude who went to community college. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to Yale. I'm just a dude. I work with my hands. I have worked with my hands inside of politics. I have seen here's the front page of Fox News right now. Front page of Fox News right now. The Biden connection. This is the front page. President's Inner Circle linked to Clinton campaign's dirty tricks against Trump. Sources tell Fox News. The Biden connection. I've just done my work in politics. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why you should be scared of this man, the reason why they should be terrified of this man is because people are getting wise. People are starting to understand how filthy and how dirty this campaign is, and how they are the ones who wanted to usurp the will of the American people. They are the ones who wanted to trod on and put into the graveyard the will of the American people. They are the ones who colluded with Russia. They are the ones who actively, as we speak right now, have a current Russia colluder inside of the Joe Biden White House, currently serving. This man is inside of charging documents for indicted scumbags who lied to our federal investigators, lied to them about a piece of political propaganda, slander, and libel meant to disrupt, meddle, not just meddle, it's not meddling, it's rigging an election. Call it what it is. Hillary wanted to rig the election against Donald Trump with a lie. This man has now arrested and charged 3 different people in that conspiracy. One of those people is working inside of the White House right now. Joe Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan. Again, Joe Biden's national security advisor working inside of the White House, Jake Sullivan, right now a Russia colluder, a Russia hoaxer. This is a man who, according to John Durham, was involved, we'll see if he gets dragged out of the White House and arrested, involved in the creation of the Russia hoax for the Hillary Clinton campaign. Why would they do the Russia hoax? Please pay attention to this video from Nancy Pelosi, where for the first time in history, Nancy Pelosi, this is from many years ago, this is from I think 5 or 6 years ago, where Nancy Pelosi tells the truth for 30 seconds. She gives up the entire game. This is not a well-known video. It should be. This should be the most well-known video in the entire history of American politics, because Nancy Pelosi in this video tells you precisely the roadmap, precisely the game plan. She actually explains Russiagate before it even happened. I think that this is from like 2014, 2015. This is the most devastating and damaging video to the modern Democratic Party. It explains to you their full playbook. This is what Russiagate was all about. It's called the wrap-up smear. Nancy Pelosi's not talking about Russiagate. I don't think Russiagate had even happened yet. This is the wrap-up smear. Nancy Pelosi is talking about their strategy and how they create and manufacture a fake story. Then they merchandise it through the press, which they own. They go to the press that they own. The left knows they own the press. And they merchandise that story. And then when asked about that story, they go, look, the press printed it. When they're the ones who created the fake news in the first place. You think this is insane? You think that I'm nuts? Fine. Listen to Nancy Pelosi with your own ears. Watch Nancy Pelosi with your own eyes.
And we call it the wrap-up smear. If anyone apologizes, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we...
I'm going to break it down. This is Nancy Pelosi giving up the entire strategy of the modern Democratic Party. I know, maybe you're shocked at what your ears just heard. Let's go again.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If anyone apologizes, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest.
Okay, you smear someone with falsehoods and all the rest. She said demonize, smear, and falsehoods. That is what the Russian collusion hoax is. That is what the Russian dossier is. It was all, and we know this now because people are going to effing jail over this. All right? Charles Dolan, Igor Dranchenko, probably didn't get that name right, Sussman. These people lied to the FBI about the dossier. Why? Because they're wrap-up smearing. You create a falsehood, a document, a piece of information that isn't real, that's fake. Then what happens, Nancy?
And then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report.
You take the lie, you merchandise it, which is the term for you give it to the press, which is, we know they did this with the dossier. They gave it to BuzzFeed. They gave it to CNN. They gave it to Yahoo News. They gave it to the Washington Post. All these places just ran with it, reported on the dossier. So they create the lie, they funnel it into the news, and then they say, well, look, it's reported.
Smear that we...
That's how it works. That is called the wrap-up smear. Do you want to see what actually happened? Do you want to see it in real time? This, ladies and gentlemen, we went digging. This is our archive. We dug and dug and dug and said, when's the first time that somebody started talking about Donald Trump colluding with the Russians? We'd like to find that out. That's interesting. When's the first time that somebody official went on and talked about Donald Trump colluding with the Russians? And you wouldn't believe that in 2016, on the first day of the DNC convention in Philadelphia, Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, his name is Robbie Mook, this very goofy looking figure here, this vanilla stick man, a truly venal character in American politics. He is the smear merchant and the bag man for Hillary Clinton. This man, Robbie Mook, went on to national television on CNN and began the most famous wrap-up smear in American history. You just heard Nancy Pelosi with her own mouth describe what a wrap-up smear is. She told you what a wrap-up smear is. Remember, very easy. Create a lie, demonize, as Pelosi says, demonize, lie, and slander. Ship it out to the press, tell the press about it, and then say, oh, well, look, the press has reported on this. This must be a valid concern. Maybe Donald Trump did collude with the Russians. When you were the one creating that lie in the first place, it's the wrap-up smear. Do you want to see a master class in the wrap-up smear? You want to see a master class in it? Do you want to see the first time that Trump colluding with Russia was ever spoken about? And who did it? Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, damn it. This jackass.
So I have to ask, what is the reaction of the Clinton campaign to these DNC leaked emails suggesting that top officials, including the CFO there, were actively discussing ways to hurt Bernie Sanders in the primaries?
Well, I think the DNC needs to look into this and take appropriate action, and I'm sure that they will. What's disturbing to us is that experts are telling us that Russian state actors broke into the DNC, stole these emails, and other experts are now saying that the Russians are releasing these emails for the purpose of actually helping Donald Trump. I don't think it's coincidental that these emails were released on the eve of our convention here. And that's disturbing. And I think we need to be concerned about that. I think we need to be concerned that we also saw last week at the Republican convention that Trump and his allies made changes to the Republican platform to make it more pro-Russian. And we saw him talking about how NATO shouldn't intervene to defend our Eastern European allies if they're attacked by Russia. So I think when you put all this together, it's a disturbing picture, and I think voters need to reflect on that.
What evidence is there that the Russians were behind this in terms of the hacking or in terms of the timing by WikiLeaks?
Well, great question, Jake Tapper. Actually, every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds an acorn, a broke clock is right twice a day. Jake Tapper asked a great question there. What the hell? You just said that the Russians did all of this and that the Russians are doing this in concert with Donald Trump. Where's your evidence?
We need to let the experts speak on this. It's been reported on in the press.
There it is! Your wrap-up smear. Did you hear it? Perfect execution. Have you been watching? Nancy Pelosi, you say it's been reported in the press. When you hear that, you know that they are the liars. You know it comes from him. You know it comes from them. This is the wrap-up smear. This is what they did with the dossier. This is what they are going to jail for now.
That the hackers that got into the DNC are very likely to be working in coordination with Russia. And again, I think if the Russians in fact have these emails, again, I don't think it's very coincidental that they're being released at this time to create maximum damage on Hillary Clinton and to help Donald Trump.
But it's a very, very strong charge that you're leveling here. You're basically suggesting that Russians hacked into the DNC and now are releasing these files through WikiLeaks to help elect Donald Trump.
Well, this isn't my assertion. There are a number of experts that are asserting this. I think we need to get to the bottom of these facts,
We need to get to the bottom of these facts? Well, Jake Tapper asked him for evidence. He goes, oh, it's been reported in the press. The wrap-up smear, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works.
That is what experts are telling us. Experts have said that it is the Russians that in fact went in and took these emails, and then if they are the ones who took them, we have to infer that they are the ones then releasing them.
What experts? What experts? Who? Show me. Because that's actually not what happened. It's not what the experts said. And there have been multiple investigations into this, and the DNC refuses to give over the servers. If I am recalling this correctly, we're now going way back. We're now winding the clock back past Russiagate to the actual DNC email leaks. Who leaked them? Where did they come from? A lot of interesting theories there. However, what we do know is this. Hillary Clinton created the dossier in order to distract from this. They knew what was going on. They knew what was happening. And Hillary Clinton created the dossier. This dossier and this narrative was created because they knew they were screwed. They knew they were done for. And so that dossier was created leaked to the media. The media, it was merchandised, according to Nancy Pelosi. And then it was shopped around. And when asked for proof of it, you can see Jake Tapper there, to his great credit, where the hell is your proof that the Russians are helping Trump hack the DNC? That seems insane. The proof, according to Robbie Mook, perfect execution. Well, the press has reported it. What am I supposed? Where my proof? Why didn't you go ask the press? These people, the malevolence of these people, the true evil of these people. But it is amazing to watch it all come crashing down. It truly is. It's amazing to see it all come crashing down and to see the desperation, the fear, and the terror inside of their eyes, these known liars. Chief among them, the chief wrap-up smear artist, Adam Schiff. Listen to this little nugget from only a few years ago.
Well, look, I've been very clear over the last year and a half that there is ample evidence of collusion in plain sight. But look, you can see evidence in plain sight on the issue of collusion, pretty compelling evidence.
Have you seen, do you have direct evidence of collusion with Russia?
Well, I think there's direct evidence. I think it's corrupt and evidence of collusion.
What's your evidence? You've been saying that on TV for years.
Well, I will tell you, and I've also been saying, as you know, that the evidence is in plain sight, not hidden anywhere. But as I've said along, there's plenty of evidence of collusion and corrupt commingling. On the issue of collusion, the reality is that there is ample evidence of collusion in plain sight, and it has been for a very long time. And of course, as the weeks have gone on, that evidence has continued to mount.
These people are demonic. They're demonic. They're demonic. How can you lie with such a straight... How can you do this when you know that what you are saying is fake, false, untrue, made up, garbage, trash, manufactured in order to strip the American people of their vote, of their will, in order to defile democracy itself, in order to defile our country itself? How can you do it? There's only one answer. You have no soul. You have no decency. You have no moral code. You are a cockroach, a parasite, a person whose only drive is as much power as they can assume unto themselves. I have for you something very rare if you are a conservative watching. I have for you vindication. For many years, we saw our president and our votes and our will slandered, maligned. We saw our movement called a movement of Russian spies. Donald Trump called a Russian cat's paw. All based on a lie. All based on the wrap-up smear. All based on these wicked, demonic people. What happens when demons get called out by truth in life? They squirm, they squeal, they writhe, they freak, they pee their pants, and there was a lot of warm liquid inside of Adam Schiff's pants today on The View when Morgan Ortagonis, who is a wonderful person, a friend of the show, former spokesperson for Mike Pompeo at the State Department, finally, after years of bold-faced lying and wrap-up smears to the American people, lying and insult and defiling of your vote and your president, this scum finally got dragged out into the light and got destroyed. Watch this. Know that these are very rare moments for us conservatives. It happens for the left all the time. They have nothing but propaganda shoved in their faces. For us conservatives to actually get a W inside of the corporate media is pretty special. Feast your eyes.
You've been really prolific over the past few years being the head of the Intel Committee, and you defended, promoted, you even read into the congressional record the Steele dossier. And we know last week the main source of the dossier was indicted by the FBI for lying about most of the key claims in that dossier. Do you have any reflections on your role in promoting this to the American people?
Well, first of all, whoever lied to the FBI or lied to Christopher Steele should be prosecuted.
Oh, you mean you?
And they are. And
so you should be prosecuted.
Unlike in the Trump administration, if they're convicted, they should go to jail, not be pardoned. So Donald Trump pardoned Roger Stone for lying. He pardoned Michael Flynn for lying. If people lied to the FBI, they should go to jail. But
let me stop for just a second. What Roger Stone and what Flynn did have nothing to do with the actual open investigations. It is something entirely different when you're talking about an open investigation that could have and did in fact change the direction of American history. I have to stop there because my blood reaches a boiling point at this point. When he says, oh, wow, someone else got pardoned. It's something entirely different when it's germane to an ongoing investigation that the FBI and the American public have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on at this point, when the lie was perpetrated by your political adversary in order to unseat the will of the American people and destroy our democracy itself. Shove off. You jackwad. All right, sorry. But you have to say that. You have to. These people are lying. They lied directly about the dossier. That is germane to the investigation.
At the beginning of the Russian investigation, I said that any allegations should be investigated. We couldn't have known, for example, people were lying to Christopher Steele. So it was proper to investigate them. And let's not forget what we learned in that investigation. We learned that the Trump campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was giving internal polling data, campaign polling data, to Russian intelligence, while Russian intelligence was helping the Trump campaign.
And to be clear, he was fired halfway through the campaign.
Well, he may have been fired, but the effort to get Russian help continued, and even beyond the effort to get Russian help,
but you
the
may
president
have
also
spread Russian
sought to get...
disinformation yourself for years by promoting this. I think that's what Republicans and what people who entrusted you as the Intel Committee chair are so confused about your culpability in all of this.
Well, I completely disagree with the premise. It's one thing to say allegations should be investigated, and they were. It's another to say that we should have foreseen in advance that some people were lying to Christopher Steele, which is impossible, of course, to do. But let's not use that as a smokescreen to somehow shield Donald Trump's culpability for inviting Russia to help him in the election, which they did, for trying to coerce Ukraine into helping him in the next election, which he did, into inciting an insurrection, which he did. None of that is undercut. None of that serious misconduct is in any way diminished by the fact that people lied to Christopher Steele.
No, I think just your credibility is.
No, I think the credibility of your question, is in doubt.
Morgan, you savage queen. Look at his, look at him. Look at him. Look at this guy. Look at this. Screen cap. Screenshot time. Screenshot time. What does it look like when your entire world gets blown the F up? What does it look like when your entire life on national television gets destroyed? What does it look like when you, yourself, have your own PP dossier, meaning inside of your pants, meaning you just peed your pants on national media? You were sitting there on The View. What do the eyes of a sociopath look like? Can I even get that big with my eyes? Normal humans can't. Normal humans with souls cannot. But gremlins can. Liars can. People who have done such an egregious service to the country that they claim to love, to the country that they claim to support. People like this. This is the look. This is the look of a man who knows he'd been done caught. A man who knows that he is most likely implicated. Along with, and not limited to, 3 current members of either the Hillary Clinton campaign or Hillary Clinton's law firm working with the campaign that have now been arrested and or indicted by John Durham. 2, Joe Biden officials currently serving, Jake Sullivan, the current national security advisor, serving Joe Biden, right now, implicated. We're not even close to done yet. John Ratcliffe said on Fox News that we're not even close to done yet. Guys, can I get that clip? We had a clip from John Ratcliffe on Fox News this weekend saying we're about to see the end all be all of indictments. 1,000 pages sent to John Durham in order to indict and bring forward indictments. He said, we're not even close to done. Hold on, I think I have it here. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I don't have it at the ready. We do these things sort of as we go, and we jump around. And honestly, it's time for us. It takes us a second to sort of recall, especially when we're live, and to recall sort of piecing it all together. My team says they're getting. We'll see. I just want to reiterate here. This is falling to pieces. It's falling to pieces. The Biden connection. This is what's happening right now. Joe Biden on the White House steps, on the White House door. Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
Period of time.
John Durham, ladies and gentlemen, has been handed by John Ratcliffe. John Ratcliffe is the former director of national intelligence for Donald Trump, for the United States of America, is going to say here in the next 30 seconds that he has handed thousands of pages of implications, indictment material to John Durham, and you are going to watch many more indictments. Get ready.
Period of time for a political purpose, which is just not only inappropriate, but as you're finding out, criminal as well. And I said a long time ago to you, Maria, I expect there to be many indictments. I haven't backed off of that, and I continue to think that there are going to be many indictments based on the intelligence that I gave to John Durham and that I have seen. Period of time. For a political purpose, which is just not only inappropriate, but as you're finding out, criminal as well. And I said a long time ago to you.
Criminal. Creating a fake document, accusing Donald Trump of colluding with Russia when there was no collusion with Russia, and then shopping that to the media and the FBI is criminal.
Maria, I expect there to be many indictments. I haven't backed off of that.
I expect there to be many indictments. Based on what, John?
And I continue to think that there are going to be many indictments based on the intelligence that I gave to John Durham and that I have seen.
John Ratcliffe knows more than he's letting on there. He personally gave over 1,000 pages of indictment material to John Durham, and John Durham is just now working through that. That is what you are seeing inside of this Durham report. John Ratcliffe, I gave Durham thousands of pages of indictment material, and there are going to be many more indictments. Why do you think he looks like that? Why do you think he looks like that? Are these the eyes of a man who looks like he's in control? Who looks like he's having a good one? Is he having a normal one, Adam Schiff? No. These are the eyes of cowards, rats, who are wondering, when is the next shoe going to fall? And will it be me? Will it be me next time? Remember this clip forever. Remember this clip forever.
To Christopher Steele, which is impossible, of course, to.
It was impossible to know who Christopher Steele's sources were. No, it wasn't, you jackass. You were head of the Intel Committee. You could have just asked him.
But let's not use that as a smokescreen to somehow shield Donald Trump's culpability for inviting Russia to help him in the election, which they did, for trying to coerce Ukraine into helping him in the next election, which he did, into inciting an insurrection.
Inciting an erection. Well, now he and Chuck Schumer both said that Donald Trump incites an erection.
Which he did. None of that is undercut. None of that serious misconduct is in any way diminished by the fact that people lied to Christopher Steele.
No, I think just your credibility is.
Well, I think the credibility of your question isn't that.
Morgan, you savage angel, you savage angel. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the largest political scandal in American history, the largest political cover-up in American history. It goes all the way to the top. Remember, Barack Obama and Joe Biden were both in these meetings. Barack Obama and Joe Biden were both in these meetings. They knew. They knew. Were they orchestrating them themselves? Who knows? I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out. But we know one thing. These people are scared. They are peeing their pants. The pants look very much like Joe Biden's pants at the Vatican. Very much like Joe Biden's pants inside of the illustrious royal halls of Scotland, farting his way through Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing justice for the first time for our movement. It has been a long road. It has been a beleaguered road. It has been a dangerous road. Many good people got wrap-up smeared, got slandered, got destroyed by this. Good Americans. We are starting to see a small semblance of justice. And you're going to see a lot more eyeballs looking like this. You're going to see a lot more of this look around the country as these jackals start getting brought in one by one. God bless John Durham. God bless the American people who put up with this crap, who have the patience of Job. God bless you in this movement. God bless the LGB, FJB community who continue to fight on in spite of the smears and the slanders of these jackals, these rats on the Titanic. As the Titanic sinks, these rats flee, and you're starting to see it right now. There's a rat at the highest levels of our government right now. His name's Jake Sullivan. He's in charge and was in charge of Afghanistan. He is personally responsible for 13 dead Americans. But is that his most egregious crime? We may find out more. We may find out more about Jake Sullivan. He has been named in official documents, charging documents by John Durham, indictment documents, in assisting in orchestrating the largest, most damaging political hoax to our democracy in American history. God bless all of you patriots for keeping fighting. We are all in a movement together. I do these lives in order to tell you that we are winning. Finally, we can report just a little bit that we are winning. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. That is what we know right now. We'll catch you all later, and hopefully that Federal Bureau of Investigation, that paddy wagon, keeps circling the White House. Keeps circling the White House time and time again. We'll see. This time it's landed right at Joe Biden's doorstep. Who knew what and when? We will find out, and we'll keep you all posted. God bless you all. Keep fighting for liberty in this country. Thank you so much for tuning in.